The lowest class of human beings, the Nazis, were now the masters, and they ruled with terror, including guns. Anyone who spoke out against them was shot on the spot or deported to face a slower death. But we still did not understand how hopeless things really were. During the war, cash had very little value, and to protect what wealth they had, people in general bought all the diamonds, silverware, figurines, and gold pieces that they could get their hands on. When they realized that they might soon be deported, many of my father's Jewish clients asked him, as their accountant, to be the guardian of their valuables. They believed that because of his age, he was then 58 years old, and because he had a heart problem, he would not be deported to a forced labor camp. So, each client made a small package containing their valuables and delivered it to our home. All of our relatives, including our immediate family, did the same with their jewelry. Instead of using the client's name, my father numbered each package so that when everything returned to normal, the valuables could be identified. Then we set about hiding the packages. My father's office was in our house, in a room with a built-in closet where he stored all his bookkeeping files and account books. My father and I cut a space inside the wall directly above the closet and stuffed all the packages into the space. We then closed up the wall and repapered the whole room so that there was no evidence of our hiding place. For everyone's protection, none of my father's clients knew the identity of any other client who had given us valuables for safekeeping. It was a good idea, but unfortunately, in case neither he nor I survived the war, my father told each client separately where the packages were hidden. I would discover later that this was a mistake. After we had already closed up the wall and restored the room to its normal condition, another of my father's clients arrived with 2 leather briefcases full of gold coins and asked my father to take care of them. We didn't want to risk breaking the wall open again, so my father decided to ask someone else to keep the contents of the 2 briefcases safe. The person my father had chosen to guard the gold was a non-Jewish man who had taken over a business belonging to one of my father's Jewish clients for the duration of the war. A number of Jews tried to protect their businesses from the Nazis in this way. The Jews hoped that by naming a non-Jew as the legal owner of the business, they would stop the Nazis from taking it over and putting their own Verwalter, or manager, in charge. We could not transport the briefcases during the day. We had to do it during the night, when Jews were not allowed to be on the street. It was a dangerous mission. We put pieces of rope around the briefcases to reinforce them because they were heavy, and because Jews were no longer allowed to use public transportation, we had to walk quite a distance with them. My father and I delivered the briefcases to a house somewhere in the neighborhood of the Leostraat, and then we walked back to our house. This was all done in total darkness because the city was blacked out against air raid attacks. During the walk back, my father told me that, in addition to our hidden package of valuables, he had also given some of our money to our non-Jewish neighbor across the street, Mr. Biermaas, for safekeeping. If any of us survived the war and needed money, we would be able to go to Mr. Biermaas and get it. Mr. Biermaas was in charge of the laboratory in the building across the street from us, and lived on the top floor. His windows were right across from ours. He saw me several times as I escaped over the tiled, peaked roof. so I was forced to walk through the gutters.